What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. Once again, I am Ryan Thomas, bringing you another edition of the Thomas Take. Today was a long day for me. I'm so glad to be home, doing the Thomas Take today. Wow, my mind is just in 500 places with all the sports stuff that's going on, with all the hectic, overwhelming stuff that's going on in my life outside of the podcast. I'm excited to finally sit down today and talk about sports. It's what calms me down. It's what keeps me on a level playing field mentally and keeps me excited. So, that being said, I am back ready to do another Thomas Take Sports Podcast episode, and I wanted to talk about news that came out today on The Herd, on Colin Cowherd's show, on FS1, where Dana White was the main guest. UFC president Dana White was the main guest on Colin Cowherd's show, and Dana White acknowledged the Floyd Mayweather ESPN tour that took place this past week. The past couple days, actually. And Dana White said that he had an offer for Floyd Mayweather to fight Conor McGregor in a boxing match. For those of you that don't know, Floyd Mayweather is the biggest name in boxing. Conor McGregor is the biggest name in mixed martial arts. So, talk of them fighting each other has been going on for almost about a year now, and it has reached the public's attention instantly when Conor McGregor basically obliged to Floyd Mayweather, calling him out in a fight. So, Dana White's offer was $25 million for Floyd Mayweather, $25 million for Conor McGregor, and then depending on how successful the pay-per-view would be, which would be one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time, the cut would be negotiated. The negotiations for the pay-per-view cut would need to take place. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather would be the A side, Conor McGregor would be the B side in a boxing realm. Due in large part to the fact that Floyd Mayweather is his own boss, he runs his own promotion company, and he does not have to answer to anyone. That's why Dana White is even involved in this situation in the first place, because Conor McGregor does have to answer to Dana White, being the fact that Conor McGregor is a UFC mixed martial arts fighter under the UFC banner. So, that being said, my reaction to this news, I honestly laughed, LMAO'd. I LMAO'd when I first heard this news, for a wide variety of reasons that I thought at that moment, and now I have more reasons than I did before. While something that you hear kind of stews in your head, you come up with more reasons why you feel this way. You think on it, and you think, man, this is more than just this reason. There's a plethora of other reasons as to why you feel the way you do. So, to set the record straight, I have been a combat sports fan since I was a little kid. I'm 24 years old now, 25 years old April 30th, and I've been a combat sports fan ever since I was a little kid. I liked boxing, and then I started, watching MMA at a very young age, and I grew to be a massive, massive mixed martial arts fan to the point where it became a career for me, covering the sport, following the sport daily on this podcast, on myfantasysportstalk.com, on a plethora of other mixed martial arts websites. I'm allowed to do my UFC rankings. I actually applied for that media credential and got it. So that is something that I'm very excited about. Will they be on UFC.com? Will my ranking go that high? Who knows? But there will be a Ryan Thomas UFC rankings report, and it will be official from the UFC. It was approved by the UFC. So I'm very excited about that. And along the way, obviously boxing has been a big part of my combat sports fandom. And I like the sport of boxing. I know Floyd Mayweather inside and out. I remember watching his career when it started. Remember watching his career when it ended, to me, when he, quote-unquote, beat Manny Pacquiao. They didn't really beat him up. He beat him, unanimous decision victory. So, that being said, what is my reaction to this news? Let me put it to you guys in common terms for the casual fan, okay? So, my nose is a little stuffy, so excuse me for the sniffling. Floyd Mayweather made $300 million to fight Manny Pacquiao. $300 million in one fight. An offer made by Dana White today on The Herd, $25 million for Floyd Mayweather, $25 million for Conor McGregor. It is the most laughable sports news I have heard in quite some time, and that says a lot, being that this week was the same week in sports in the NFL news that quote-unquote Saint Doug Marrone got a head coaching gig with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This takes the cake to Doug Marrone getting another shot in the NFL to be a head coach. That says a lot. If this fight happens, I honestly, truly feel that this is a disgrace to combat sports. A slap in the face, if you will, to the MMA and the boxing gods. This fight should never, ever happen. And when I say that to people, they look at me like, why would I not want to see this fight? Of all the fights I talk about, of all the fights I analyze on this podcast with David Poole and Deshaun Vincent and other guys that have joined me on the show, why would I not want to see Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why right now. Because the boxer gains nothing off this fight if he wins. He gains nothing off a win for his legacy. And the MMA fighter gains nothing off beating the boxer. Virtually nothing. Floyd beating Conor McGregor in a boxing match, pillar to post, that's supposed to happen. That is what is supposed to happen if they do get into the ring. Conor McGregor beating Floyd Mayweather in a fight might not be what is supposed to happen, but it is a lose-lose situation for Conor McGregor because Floyd Mayweather is 40 years old. He's not the Floyd Mayweather of yesteryear. He's not Pretty Boy Floyd. We've seen him over the last course of his few fights take shots that normally he didn't take. Even in victory, he got caught against the ropes against Pacquiao. That stuff would not happen had Floyd had that extra spring in his step. He had the fight with Marcos Maidana where he lost a few rounds to Maidana. He had to fight Maidana again. And the second fight didn't really go any better. The judges' scorecards would say so, but in actuality, the fights were very similar. And we know that Floyd is not where he was. That's a fact. That's why he retired. He fought Andre Berto in his last fight. The pay-per-view was a dud, due in large part to the fact that he had a dud fight with Manny Pacquiao. So that being said, there is no reason why this fight should happen. There really is no reason, other than it being like a WWE match where there's two big names in one ring. Other than that, I get that appeal to it, that two guys that you never thought would fight each other would be fighting each other. I get that. But the fact that Dana White even wants to give this fight some steam when he knows that there is a possibility that Conor McGregor could go into that ring and be embarrassed and denounce the MMA striking pedigree of the sport of mixed martial arts in a boxing match. And what I mean by that is boxing is a completely different discipline than the MMA striking. Completely different. Completely different. Yes, Conor McGregor is probably the best boxer in mixed martial arts. One of them. One of the very best. But that does not mean he would beat Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match. Floyd Mayweather has been a champion in boxing since 1995. Conor McGregor was, what would he have been? Maybe 8 years old? So Floyd has been doing this a long time. As I said, he's 40. He's not what he once was. But I still think he would win just based on experience, ringsmanship. His fight IQ is through the roof. It's the highest of any boxer I've seen in quite some time. And in his era, it's very well easily stated that he's probably the best boxer in his era. Yes, it's a weak era of boxing. Boxing has completely declined in popularity, and he is the major reason why. That's a fact. So, with that being said, why would Dana White put this fight together? If this fight does happen, if this offer does gain some steam from Floyd Mayweather to where Floyd Mayweather wants to agree to it, which I highly, 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 highly doubt that it will, Dana White is no better than Don King, the notorious Don King. This fight would be a robbery of fans' money for this fight. The pay-per-view, if a pay-per-view for Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao was $100 on standard TV, what would a pay-per-view be for Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor? $200? How could you justify putting Floyd Mayweather again on that big of a stage, knowing that he robbed people of their money, the people that bought Mayweather and Pacquiao for $100? Plus, the $25 million to $25 million, offer would be the lowest amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has made in a boxing fight in his entire career, and it would be not in his entire career, in his entire career as Money Mayweather, I should say, and it would be the highest amount of money that Conor McGregor has ever made for a fight in his career. The highest total purse that he has made is $3 million for a fight when he fought Nate Diaz. He ended up getting the majority of the cut of the pay-per-view for that, I'm sure, which probably led to about maybe 8 or 9 million, maybe 10. But that is nowhere near the money that Floyd Mayweather has made. You do the math, $300 million for 12 rounds of work versus Manny Pacquiao. That is $25 million per round. What Dana White just offered him was what Floyd Mayweather made in one round of fighting. Each round of fighting versus Manny Pacquiao. This is an offer that Dana White made, knowing that this fight would not get made, to kill it. I think he honestly did this on purpose. He put this offer out there to Floyd so Floyd would laugh it off, roll his eyes, and keep Conor McGregor's name relevant in a situation that Conor McGregor is not going to fight for quite some time. He's having a child. So by Floyd Mayweather deciding to say no to this offer, it actually makes the fight more relevant. By the fight being talked about, whether it is happening or whether it's not happening. We saw that with the case of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. The fight didn't happen for 6, 7, 8 years. And when it finally did, everyone watched it. Everyone was ready for it, although they were both past their prime. It is one of the most ridiculous posturing business transactions I've seen in combat sports history. You have one guy that's the face of the sport in Conor McGregor for mixed martial arts. You have another guy that's the face of the sport in another sport in boxing. Both two facets of each other, and one is a facet of the other. Boxing is a facet in mixed martial arts. Two completely different realms, apples to oranges. And this fight has actually gained traction from casual fans and fans alike. So Dana White sticks his nose in it and says $25 million for Conor, $25 for Floyd. If this fight happens, it is a joke to combat sports. That was the Thomas Take. I'm Ryan Thomas. Thanks for tuning in.